Hello and welcome to today's webinar. Today, I want to introduce you to our data catalog solution for business intelligence. However, before we begin, I'd like to start with a saying you've probably heard before: better late than never. This expression means that it's better if something happens at all, even if it happens late, than if it doesn't happen at all. Being late is the lesser evil, so to speak. You might see this in situations such as when your train is delayed by an hour, and you can't make it to a meeting on time, or when you urgently need to use the restroom. Sometimes being late is simply not an option, and it's very frustrating, especially when it's not in your control. Now, making the transition to the actual topic, in business intelligence, long waits and dependency on others can also be frustrating. If, the night before a board meeting, the most important dashboard shows incorrect values, a support ticket from IT is the last thing you want to wait for. Unfortunately, in SAP BI, there are many situations where IT needs to be involved because end users cannot independently answer the questions that are relevant to them. So, what are these questions? For example, what reports or dashboards exist for a specific question? How is my report technically structured? What filters are set in the background? What is the definition of my KPI? What sources do the data for my KPI come from? Dashboards and reports are based on complex applications implemented in various SAP technologies. To understand these and, above all, to answer these questions independently, a deep understanding of the back-end and appropriate permissions are necessary. For many end users, BI is like an opaque black box, and they have only a very limited and restricted view of the systems. If IT is the only point of contact to answer these questions, and many people have these questions, IT quickly becomes overwhelmed, and the answers are received very late. This greatly hinders the efficiency and ability of departments to act. The solution to the problem is empowerment. Specifically, a data catalog that automatically integrates SAP analytics data and transforms it into easily digestible information for end users. This is something Enterprise Glossary does better than any other solution. Here you can see an overview of the supported connectors. Let's look at how end users can independently answer the aforementioned questions with the Enterprise Glossary. We will now jump into the live demo. I'll open the glossary, and now we see the initial view of the data catalog. We see SAP objects in the form of glossary entries, and on the left side, we see a directory that is fully customizable. Let's return to the first question. What reports or dashboards exist for a specific question? Suppose you want to analyze customer orders, specifically the expected incoming orders. Now you want to know exactly which reports and dashboards exist for this topic. You could use the Enterprise Glossary's custom directory, where elements of specific topics can be collected and easily presented to the user. This means you could quickly access the expected incoming orders report. Alternatively, you could search the Enterprise Glossary for a relevant description or technical name. I'll just enter expected incoming orders and see that a matching report exists. You can now click on it and open the glossary entry for this SAP BW query. This means the search for a suitable report is minimized, making the information retrieval significantly more efficient. In this glossary entry, we now see all relevant information about the report. Let's first look at the business information. Here you can check if this report is suitable for the analysis by reviewing the presented information. This query shows the expected incoming orders per month, based on key figures such as the open quotation net value and the sales probability. This sounds like a good fit, and the report can be used for this analysis. Under the Where Used tab, you can even check if there are BO reports or SAC stories based on this query. And indeed, that's the case. You can now click on this SAC story and use the Data Preview button to jump directly to the SAC story itself. This gives you a convenient way to open SAP entities natively from the Enterprise Glossary. We now see the dashboard with its graphs and numbers. And maybe there is something wrong with some of the values and you want to check the technical details to verify. A classic question you might pass on to IT, but now you can do it yourself, thanks to the Enterprise Glossary. We want to know how this report is technically structured and how the KPIs used are defined. We'll jump back to the Enterprise Glossary and go back to the query, as this dashboard is based on that query. In the first tab, we see the technical information regarding the BW query, the build-up consisting of characteristics, key figures, free characteristics, and global filters. It's very helpful to understand how SAP objects are structured, especially when it comes to checking the reasons for incorrect values. Now, concerning the previously mentioned KPI, expected incoming orders, you see this KPI along with some business information. I can click on it, and here you see that the Enterprise Glossary can display the formula in mathematical notation. The nice thing is that you can even resolve the entire formula, meaning it can be traced through all levels, which avoids misinterpretations and provides a better assessment of the actual values. Alternatively, You can also visualize key figures as a driver tree. Let's briefly open that. You see all related key figures, which allows you to better understand the relationships and dependencies between the key figures. At the same time, you can view the definitions, such as the formulas or restrictions like the document category queue. In this way, you can see all the drivers of a key figure. Finally, you want to identify the data sources for your KPI. Imagine you want to create a new report or KPI and want to quickly check if there are suitable objects that you can use as a basis. Or you just want to ensure that the correct data sources are tapped. You can go to Data Lineage. I'll switch to full screen mode, and you see in this visual data flow which data sources this KPI and data model rely on. We see these SAP tables and can better assess which data sources underpin it. We can also expand it if we need more in-depth information. With that, we're at the end of the live demo, and I'll return to the presentation. In summary, the Enterprise Glossary empowers end users. It allows them to independently overview all available KPIs, reports, and dashboards and directly access them from the glossary, as we've seen with the SAC story. This shortens search times and promotes the reuse of existing reports rather than creating new ones. The Enterprise Glossary also provides unparalleled depth of insights into technical relationships and presents them in an easily understandable way. So, there's no more talk of a black box. It offers the ability to centrally secure business knowledge, as we saw with the query. Technical definitions are complemented with business information, providing a comprehensive understanding. All this together leads to sustainable optimization of BI processes. This means users reach their goals faster, and IT can be relieved. What sets the Enterprise Glossary apart from other data catalogs? First of all, the Enterprise Glossary is ready to use in 2 days. It's a web application that is very easy to install, and after the initial synchronization, is already filled with content that is immediately useful. It also has a clear price advantage over other data catalogs. A license can be used by an unlimited number of read users and is available for an attractive annual fee. And since we at Bluetelligence have been dealing with SAP metadata for over 15 years, we are highly experienced in SAP analytics. We provide in-depth information on SAP metadata and present it in a way that offers immediate insights and informs end users. If we've piqued your curiosity, we would be happy to offer you a free version of the Enterprise Glossary in a test environment or even a POC on your own system. Contact us easily through our website. With that, we come to the end. With the Enterprise Glossary, we say goodbye to better late than never and agree on the sooner, the better, at least in BI. Thank you for your attention and see you soon. Goodbye.